So, so I was cut off from the first, but I was gonna get right into it though. Um, I was saying, I was sitting at the light last night, and I was at a light where there's a lot of intersections and crossings. So, there are a lot of different directions, flows of traffic going, and so I'm sitting at the light, with this being, it's about, let me see, one, two, three, four. It's about four. It's an intersection of four different flows of traffic. Now, there are no turn on red signs because with there being four different flows of traffic, these aren't 90-degree angle turns because you're not turning on one flow of traffic roads when making a right, or so you know uh, so I guess if you wanted to make a right at these lights, you would either be making an acute turn, which is basically a U-turn, or you would be making an obtuse turn because you would be crossing another intersection. So they have a green light. So if they're driving U-turn, they're gonna hit you because you're crossing two lanes of another intersection. There's two lanes of another flow of traffic. You got one go this way, you got one coming this way. You know, you cross all that, they're gonna hit you. It's point blank. So anyway, so I'm at the light, and I see all these cars moving. So I'm looking for a fire truck. I'm looking for a police officer. I'm looking like, where's the car? Like where I don't see sirens. Why's everybody getting out of the way? So it's this car. Just like it's not even a car. A car. It's like one of them hoopty John, like them, like a burnout phone type of car. Like you're not gonna have a car for long, but it's just something to get by. So I guess the person didn't have any patience to wait like everyone else at the red light, and there's no turn on red signs. There's other cars going through the other flows of traffic, everything at the intersection. So the car is driving. So I just see a car. When you looking out the corner of your eye, you're not expecting to see a car that there's no space on the road for it to fit on. So you're looking at the person like, okay, this is not a two-lane street. Why are you driving up on my car? And it was so crazy that the car literally was on the sidewalk. And the person's looking at me in the car. I'm looking at the person. I'm like, are you a cop? You feel me? Like, who else drives on the sidewalk? You see it in the movies, but I've only seen cops do it in public. I've never seen, outside of a movie, I've never seen anyone drive on the sidewalk. So, I'm gonna look. Drive on the sidewalk. The place is near my car. You know? I'm pretty sure your car not worth as much as mine. So, so the person just and so when people look at you when they do something wrong, they go, "Yeah, what? What? I'm doing it." And that's not the thing. You don't do that when you're when you're that close to something worth that much that you can damage. You don't look at that person like what, because if I can afford this car, I can afford a lot more stuff. And it's like people don't. I'm not that kind of person that use my money for like evil or anything. But you know, if I can afford this car, I can afford a lot more stuff. It ain't like You know what I mean? Like I'm just this dude. So I guess the person goes through the red light. They make that acute angle, right turn, U turn, and you know, so they run the red light. So, and that's just patience. That's what I was saying about martial law, because some people, I don't know what happens in Harrisburg sometimes, but I know our police sometimes they get scared of people they shouldn't be, because there are people who don't have patience. The same people who don't pay taxes usually. Same people who stash money in their house. And everybody in the world's looking for this money that was printed by our by us that can't be found. There's no trace of it. Where is it at? It's not in the bank. No one can find it. Where's this money? And someone has it stashed in their house, and they're wondering why. Like everyone's out. And I was saying too yesterday. Some people are like, some people play Grand Theft Auto, the video game, and you know how the stars go up when you do stuff. Have you ever seen someone just do like something really wrong that they knew wasn't right, and they just sit there and ask stupid questions like they don't know what's going on, and you just see the stars of Grand Theft Auto. They pop up, and you just see them lighten up, lighten up, lighten up, lighten up, and it gets to the point because every time the star lights up, it's more, it's more authority that comes. You go from the cops chasing you to the helicopters with the cops to the police jumping out of the helicopters no matter where you're at on the street to the big military tanks where they be blowing up, shooting the things at your car, your stuff be blowing up and stuff. So you sit here thinking you play Grand Theft Auto enough to know that there's a point in time where you have to like listen to a certain group of people, right? And it's like you just don't do certain things, and you don't look at people like what I did it. You feel me? Like because that could be anybody in that car. It might not be me, but at the same time, it might be me, and you might not know me like that. That's like people know me. People know me. They say, "Man, your family they was some fighters back in the day." And it was like, "Yeah, man, your family. You don't know your family. You better recognize." And so I'm like, "All right, that's cool." And we usually are talking about one group of family, 1/4 of the four people that creates my parent. And we're talking about one person's family out of four people that you know gave birth to a parent. And the funny thing about this is, you see, you don't really know any of my other family, do you? And so, nah, I just know, man, your family's no. It's like, okay, that's cool, but you're just basically basing my entire family off one last name. And so I was like, like people do that here in Harrisburg, PA. I don't know why, but I mean, there's nothing really to prove from any last name that I have relation to, but it's just like people know a limit that they know your family that you have the same last name of has logic because they have limits, and they're not gonna go above the limit and put themselves in any kind of jeopardy or living a good life, and like they might fight and stuff, but they cool people, so it's just like certain people just take for granted that last name is the only group of people you're related to. And okay, you know, and that happened to me. Kind of, I felt like that happened when my chain got ripped off, and that was actually more so why I was looking. I mean, I was looking because I was like, my car worth more, you know, and you ain't gonna do that to my car, especially with you running red lights and things, But at the same time, I got robbed. So, I got robbed by a random person who just wanted to prove a point, I guess, that I took this little dude's chain. I took this dude's chain. Maybe I didn't know. Maybe he knew my name. Maybe he knew my last name, who my family was that fought and where they was from and everybody, the reputation behind that. But in my mind, you're a complete stranger ripping off my chain. You don't know me like that. I am not the same person, that my name comes from. So, you got to understand that. There's different family members that between me and them that, they have family members. Like a lot of us have. If it ain't my parent, we all ain't gonna have the same family members. But along with my parent, you have to understand every generation after my parent is gonna have more family members than the parent does. That's why it's so complicated about life. So it's like it's complex. You don't just sit there and look at one person and say, hey. And that's what I felt. I felt like maybe this person could be rolling up on me. They looking at me like what? Because I mean, that basically happened when I was fighting when my chain got took. The person said, "Yeah, I did it." What? I'm thinking like, well, wait a minute. Do I know you? First of all, I'm trying to think about where do I know you from? Do we have a problem? And and thing I just want to say, it's about patience. You can't be impatient with certain laws. They're just laws. You have to be patient. I mean, the laws were created through patience, and it's a process. Another thing I say is adults not being kids. I watch grown-ups watch adults get older, and they allow certain habits adults do all the time, and it's like they think it's cute because like the person has just like I guess been doing this for so long. It's like, oh, now it's cute. Like if a parent or an older person can't remember something, it's like, oh, this is cute, and it's like, no, that's not cute. You need to correct them on something because you can't keep letting these older people get away with that because it's actually starting to mess up their mind, and they're gonna program in their mind that they can do that, and it's gonna come to a time where they might not understand what they're thinking about or who they are or where they're at, and they're just gonna remember, fall accustomed to that pattern of habits that they've done, and you got to stop that while they can remember that because that's not cute when you're walking around and you're just doing stuff sloppy everywhere. And, no, that's not cute. That's not cute. You don't let that go. And I had that problem too with a few adults, you know. And it's just about exercising your mind. Facebook is just a good tool. Share your thoughts. Share how you feel. You don't have to do any violent acts. You don't need that camera. It's not reality TV. Like, yeah, we gonna get it on. I'm gonna prove I'm a gangster. I'm a G because I'm on camera and I'm calling you out. That's why I don't direct stuff towards people because I don't lower people's self-esteem. Nor do I need to prove to anyone I am tougher than them. There's no reason for that. Who's interested in that? I ain't got money to spend on that. I would be a boxer if I wanted to promote that and you know make money off of that. I would be doing UFC or boxing or wrestling or something. That's just not something I do. You know, so that's what it is. I kind of went overboard because when I get into these scuffles and these little fights, there's usually someone there that I like, and there's usually I have a reputation. I have I have a character. Sometimes people respect who I am. I'm a respectable person. So I might have a female or I like or something that's attracted to me, and I don't like having to fight people because not only does it make you look like a bad guy, it might make a female say, "Oh, he's a hole. I don't like him. Ugh, he's always trying to be tough and stuff." So you don't need that because that kind of messes up everything for why you take care of yourself and all that in the first place in general. So you know, so use social networks and social gatherings and everything. Anything social, it's not a contest. It's about telecommunications, about communicating. Simply share your mind, share how you feel. Don't feel like an outcast for being you. That's what it's about. That's the reason you're socializing. That's the reason you are who you are. Make your own decisions. All right.